Title: The Silent Signs. Someone is secretly fascinated by you. Most people walk through life completely blind to the quietest, most powerful language in the world. They look for loud declarations. They look for obvious flirtation, bold compliments, and clear signals. But human attraction does not scream. It whispers. And right now, someone in your life is giving away exactly how they feel about you, but you are completely missing it. Picture this. You are in a room. Maybe it is a quiet, dimly lit coffee shop with a friend, or a crowded dinner table with a group of people. The conversation is flowing naturally. People are laughing, telling stories, casually looking at their phones. The ambient noise of clinking glasses and chatter fills the space. You say something, not particularly funny, maybe just a simple observation, and for a fraction of a second the room fades. You catch them looking at you, not just glancing, lingering. When you meet their eyes, they look away just a little too fast. Or maybe they do not look away at all. You feel a sudden shift in the air. A strange, silent gravity pulling the two of you together, even though nobody else in the room noticed a single thing. You brush it off. You tell yourself it is nothing, but your gut knows better. Your gut felt the shift. Here is the hidden truth about human behavior. We are not as in control of our bodies as we like to think we are. Our conscious mind is the filter. It tries to play it cool, to follow social rules, to hide our true intentions out of fear of rejection. But our subconscious mind, it is entirely, brutally honest. It operates on primal instincts that are millions of years old. Long before humans possessed the ability to speak, we communicated our desires, our fears, and our attractions through movement. When we are fascinated by someone, when we feel a magnetic pull toward another human being, our autonomic nervous system takes over. It begins to leak clues. Tiny, involuntary movements and shifts in energy that are completely out of our conscious control. Psychologists call this nonverbal leakage. It is the body's way of screaming what the mouth refuses to say. Once you learn how to read these silent signals, you will step into a new reality. You will never look at social interactions the same way again. The first silent behavior is what we can call the gravity of proximity. Pay close attention to the direction of their energy. When you sit down at a table, notice where their shoulders and feet are pointing. Humans are biologically wired to align their bodies with whatever they find most valuable or interesting in their environment. Imagine you are in a group setting. Someone else is talking, telling a loud, engaging story. But the person who is secretly captivated by you, their torso is angled slightly in your direction. Their feet are pointed right at you under the table. Even when they are laughing at someone else's joke, their body compass is locked onto you. It is a subconscious mechanism. Their brain is silently declaring that you are the true center of their attention. Then there is the baseline shift. This is perhaps the most undeniable sign of hidden attraction, yet it is the one people miss the most. Every person has a baseline personality. Some are loud and chaotic, others are quiet, stoic, and reserved. But watch very closely what happens to their baseline the exact moment you enter the room. Does the loud, boisterous guy suddenly become a little more quiet, a little more thoughtful, trying to project depth and stability? Does the quiet, reserved girl suddenly laugh a little louder, becoming more animated just to catch your eye? This shift is their nervous system reacting to your presence. A sudden spike in dopamine and adrenaline forces them to recalibrate. They are instinctively adjusting their behavior to stand out to you, altering their entire personality for a fleeting moment to match what they think will pull you in. The next behavior operates so deeply beneath the surface that neither of you usually notices it until it is pointed out. It is the unconscious mirror. Think about the last time you were deeply engaged in a conversation with someone. You take a sip of your drink, and a few seconds later, they take a sip of theirs. You shift your weight to lean on your left elbow, and shortly after, they adopt the exact same posture. This is not them copying you on purpose. This is a deeply ingrained psychological phenomenon driven by mirror neurons in the brain. When a human being feels a strong emotional connection or desperately desires to build rapport, their brain automatically begins to mimic the movements of the person they are focused on. It is the body's silent, primitive way of saying, "We are the same. We are connected." Another powerful indicator is the anchor glance. This is a beautiful, fleeting moment that reveals exactly who a person values most in any given room. Imagine the whole group bursts into laughter over a sudden joke. Laughter is a moment of vulnerability. The mask slips. And in that split second of genuine, unguarded emotion, people naturally look at the person they feel closest to, or the person they are most attracted to. They want to see if you are laughing too. They want to share that sudden spike of joy with you. If someone consistently seeks out your eyes the moment a room erupts in laughter, you are their anchor. You are the one their brain prioritizes above everyone else in the room. Finally, pay attention to the space between you. Specifically, how they treat the physical barriers in that space. When we are indifferent to someone or when we feel defensive, we naturally build walls. We cross our arms. We place our phone, a menu, or a coffee cup directly between us and them. But when someone is deeply fascinated by you, they will unconsciously clear the path. They will move their glass to the side. They will uncross their arms. They will expose their wrists or their neck, highly vulnerable parts of the body, because their primitive brain feels safe and drawn to you. And often they will find an excuse for a micro-touch, a brief brush of the shoulder as they walk by, touching your arm lightly to emphasize a point. These are never accidents. They are tiny subconscious tests of your boundaries, checking to see if you will welcome their presence or pull away. But let us look a little deeper. Why do we hide these feelings in the first place? Why does human attraction have to be a game of shadows and subtle cues? The truth is rooted in our deep fear of vulnerability. To openly declare fascination is to risk rejection. It is terrifying to the human ego. So, we wear masks. We play it cool. We pretend we do not care. The Stoics understood something vital about human nature. You cannot control the emotions that arise within you, nor can you control the hidden desires of others. You can only control your awareness and your response. When you start noticing these silent signals in others, you realize how fragile we all are beneath our composed exteriors. You realize that the person acting distant or overly sarcastic might actually be terrified of how much they like you. Understanding this psychology does not just make you better at reading people. It makes you more empathetic. It gives you a quiet, unshakable confidence. You no longer have to guess, overthink, or feel anxious about where you stand with someone. You become the calm observer in the room. You can sit back, breathe, and read the truth in their posture, their eyes, and their unspoken actions. You realize that you hold a certain power just by being aware. Human behavior is a beautifully complex puzzle, but it is never truly a mystery. People are always telling you exactly how they feel. They are just not using words. The alignment of their body, the sudden shift in their baseline personality, the unconscious mirroring of your movements, the shared glance during a moment of laughter, the gentle clearing of barriers between you. These are the whispers of attraction, the silent confessions of a fascinated mind. The next time you walk into a room, do not just listen to what people are saying. Watch what their bodies are whispering. Pay attention to the quiet gravity pulling people together. Once you start noticing this hidden language, you can never unsee it.